Larry Williams said in his 4 VHS tape course, the Confidential Future Trading Millionaire course, whatever it is. I always butchered the title. The statement he made was, the stock market is predisposed to go up. So therefore, if my hero, the first real mentor that I had, that I subscribed to, everything he said, I hung on every word he said. I trusted everything that man said in print or spoke. And I hung on every word. And because he said that, that was enough for me to never want to go short. Now, I am aware that some of you have an unhealthy reverence towards me, and it's not appropriate. And I don't want to be taken out of context. I don't want to be used as an instigation for you to get into something that's going to hurt you. And I had no real direct reason to be blamed for it, whatever the outcome. Your results are entirely yours. And with this number of people now following me, it's extremely intimidating. I'm not afraid to do it wrong. Okay, that's not what this is. Clearly, I can still talk about it, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. What I think is going to happen. You know, my stuff doesn't stop working because there's more people following. I'm not worried about more people learning how to do it, and they're going to change the algorithm. That's not how this is going to work. Okay, it's not going to stop working. It's never going to stop working. Here's your answer. It's never, ever, 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 ever going to stop working, because it is the market. This is what the markets do. When the markets are no longer available to us to be traded, that's when you can't trust it or rely on it, because nobody can do anything with it then. Trading is just not allowed anymore. Is there ever going to be a time for that to happen? I don't know, but look at the world in the last 3 years. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen next? They're trying to do all kinds of crazy shit all the time. They have agendas they're trying to fulfill and get to, and at this point, nothing's off the table. But why worry about it? Because it might not ever happen in your lifetime. And you shit the bed and don't worry about trying to pursue something and make your life better because you think it's going to stop working. When you could have had 5 years of doing it and changed it and set yourself up for life. You have selective hearing. Some of you don't want to succeed because you don't think you deserve it. And it's easier for you to justify some scenario in your head. You know, why bother? Because ICT is giving secret signals that the end of the world's coming. So why bother learning how to trade? It pisses me off when I see people do that. When they comment like, if you're saying that we're going to have all these problems and it's going to get harder, why bother learning trading? You know what? Block. Because I can't fix that mentality. That's an ass backwards mentality. That's a victimhood mentality. Okay? Until you can't drive this bitch forward, you drive it till the brakes fall off. That's how you do it. Occupy until I come. That was his instructions, okay? I'm not going to get religious or spiritual here, but that was his instructions. Stay busy, okay? If you're just ready to things are going to get harder, why bother? Well, that's why 99% of the people stay working their job. They're too afraid to do anything. Not me. Not me, man. I was ready to quit every job I went into. If I knew I was going to find something better, done. No 2-week notice. Fuck you. Keep your job. I'm out of here. I will find something better. Until I figure out what I'm doing in my life, I'm going to not waste my time listening to people that are stupid as fuck but have a manager's title. And that's what most of you are going to be relegating yourself to. Don't make any change. Why bother? Change is scary. I might as well just eat the shit that they're willing to spoon feed me. At least I'm getting some of my bills paid, and I might not have the life I want, but it's acceptable enough for me now. Why would you accept that? You're worrying about something that might not happen in your lifetime. And you miss the opportunity to improve your life where you don't give a fuck what they're doing in this world. Yeah, I have a lot of money. And if they change the way money is done, which I think it might happen in my lifetime. And my money becomes worthless. We could potentially become Venezuela 2.0 in the United States. It could happen. We could see it. But am I going to lose sleep and drive myself fucking crazy and just stop living my life because the potential's there? No, fuck no. I ain't worried about that. That means you're not living. You're just waiting to die. That's not what I want to do. And if you think that way, oh well, why bother? Then don't listen to anybody, not just me. Don't listen to nobody. Just sit around and wait to fucking die. Just sit down there and wait to die, and just accept it. Greet it with a warm hug. Because that's a victimhood mentality. I don't cultivate that here. I kick you in your ass, tell you exactly what it is. I don't sugarcoat anything. You're going to work very hard to learn how to do this. And the folks that get there, they know that they worked their ass off to get it. And no one can tell them they didn't earn it. But you're not going to come in here and waltz through with a shortcut and somehow find your way to the front of the line. I've never sold that idea. I've promised that you're going to have to do a whole lot of things you're uncomfortable doing. Defer a lot of instant gratification that you think is owed to you. But you're trying to avoid it by overexposure, doing more than is necessary. I was very pleased to see some of the individuals that are now implementing what I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, which is I gave you a challenge to trade with one micro account, one micro contract. And the point was is you would discover fear of missing out is no longer an issue. Fear of holding onto a trade or getting stopped out is no longer an issue. Performance anxiety about how much you have to make goes away over time, because if you can start making $50 a day, if you just make $50 a day, some of you that are in Africa, literally, that would take away a lot of your problems. Lots of your problems. If you could just do that once a week, a lot of your problems would go away. But you see me, you see my students and other people showing tens of thousands of dollars, and you think that this is the only way to view success. You worry about all the wrong things and don't press enough on the things that I tell you should be. If you do the work on the areas I tell you to focus on, most of the problems that you're going to find that most other traders go through, and you won't avoid either, but you'll go through it sooner. It'll be less painful, but it still has to be done. If you do the things I tell you to do and avoid the things I tell you to avoid, you'll get through it sooner. But I'm not promising you speedily through it. But the shortest distance between one place to another is a straight line. And some of you want to do this roller coaster up and down and distraction. And I'm going to try this. He's got something coming out next month. He's got a new model. I can't wait for his books because I'm going to drop everything I've learned so far. And I'm going to do whatever he tells me in this book. Who's at fault when you don't get there? You. Whose credit is it when you get there? Yours. I'm just a conduit. I'm just the person that's relaying the information. But if you don't listen to good advice that's sound, I'm not telling you to go out there and risk money. I'm telling you these are times when I'm not trying to do it with my own. What is that communicating? Does that communicate that this is going to be an easy market? ICT is going to just go out there and slap it around. He's going to come out here and just show this and show that and show this. No, I'm aware that this is going to be problematic. And if given to my own devices, I'm prone to show humanity that I exposed myself in as a 20-year-old, where I'm frail and I will get angry if I do it wrong. I'll want to do it again. So I spent time over the last 30 years identifying where those circumstances manifested itself and what characteristics did it have that I can identify going into a new week or a new trading day, where I can anticipate this unfolding again so I can avoid it. If there's a pitfall there, if there's a snare or quicksand, something that's going to cause me to stumble, I want to know about it in advance. I don't want to blindly walk into a dark room with sharp objects pointing at me and run into it full steam. And that's exactly what some of you are wanting to do. And then surprised why you got your ass impaled. I don't know how that happened. Good grief, man. I'm never going to win this stuff. It's rigged against me. None of this stuff works. ICT's a fraud. That's the short cycle of most of the people that come to me, and they don't do it right. They try to rush through it, and that's the common consensus at the end. When they've done everything wrong. They've done everything wrong, and they didn't do the things I told them to focus on. But it's interesting, when the folks that put the work in, the real work is for you to stay diligent, doing the things I tell you to focus on. Because once you get that data behind you, and you have all of this exposure to looking for it in old data, where you can't weigh it out, where it's a report card for you as a pass or fail, a profit or a loss. It's you conditioning yourself, seeing something. That repetition of looking at it, this is what it looks like in hindsight, over and over and over again. And the first time when I ever mentioned the fair value gap, you didn't understand it. You're thinking, what makes that a fair value gap? Like, it wasn't easy to see it, even though it is the easiest visual representation of a PD array. It's the easiest thing to see. But now, by contrast, you look at a chart, if someone's chart gets put up on social media, or you watch another YouTuber that doesn't do anything that we do, and they're looking at charts, and they point up the chart, and they have whatever the fuck they put on their chart. It could be indicators, no indicators, it doesn't matter. But your eye will immediately jump right to that fair value gap. And it's amazing how they don't even fucking talk about it. And there's a trade right when it trades into it, they don't talk about it. It starts moving, and then they say, wow, this is a nice run right there. Look at that big rip right there. But you saw that coming. How did that happen? By conditioning yourself, looking at old data, back testing, studying it, logging it, journaling it, annotating it. That way it means something to you. And you sugarcoat it with commentary like you saw it live. You're training your subconscious. You're tricking your brain as a pseudo experience, as a moment or a memory that did not physically happen, but you're basically, it's like a self-hypnosis. Exactly what it is. You're conditioning your subconscious to see that as a memory that you experienced real time, and you're shielding all the negative, and you're sugarcoating it with your commentary. And you do this every day for months. By default, when you're watching real-time price action and you're tape reading, it means you're not pressing a demo, you're not doing a combine challenge, you're not pressing a button with a live account, you're not trading a funded account. You're just simply observing price action, and you're watching it, and you're seeing, does it behave like you would expect? Where there's no monetary result that's going to be detrimental or impactful in a positive sense at all, because you're not pressing the button. You will start seeing that you can read the price action real time. You need to do that for months. Once you're consistently able to do that, unless you can do that part and you can see what these moves are going to do, and you can see when price runs begin, where it should not go past this point at this point here, and it should reach up here, why the fuck are you touching a demo account? If you can't do that, why are you, don't even reset the account. Don't touch it. The only thing that demo account is going to do is cause you to believe that you're ready to do something that you're not.